in so many ways. She was the daughter of a baronet, a hereditary knight, if you like, but she didn't have a title of her own. Her father was Sir William Worsley, a Yorkshire squire. She grew up in Yorkshire, and it was there that she met her future husband, the Duke of Kent.
She died with almost nothing. The tiaras, gone. The Russian Empress's sapphires, vanished. Queen Victoria's priceless brooches, disappeared. When the Duchess of Kent passed away in September 2025, the world celebrated her kindness. But nobody talked about the scandal hiding in plain sight. Millions of pounds worth of royal jewels had mysteriously vanished from her collection over the years. Some were secretly auctioned off. Others simply disappeared into thin air.
That's a very touching gesture, actually. The two of them became great friends after that. And as the millennium came, the Duchess wanted to withdraw a bit from public life. I mean, she was still the Duchess of Kent, but she particularly enjoyed teaching young children music. That's what she wanted to do. And so she rather stepped back from the royal limelight.
What really happened to one of the most valuable jewelry collections in royal history? The truth is more shocking than you think. Before she became a duchess, Katharine was born Katharine Worsley in 1933, the only daughter of Sir William Worsley, a Yorkshire baronet. Her childhood was spent at Hovingham Hall, a stately manor in North Yorkshire, where she developed a deep and lasting love for music. From an early age, she learned to play the piano, violin, and organ. This passion for music would remain central to her identity throughout her life, even as circumstances led her down an unexpected path into the heart of the royal family. Everything changed when she met Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent, who was serving as an army officer stationed near her family home. Prince Edward was the first cousin of Queen Elizabeth II, making him a senior member of the royal household. Their engagement was announced in March 1961, and with it came the first piece of jewelry that would mark her entry into royal life. The engagement ring was an elegant oval sapphire, flanked by 2 round diamonds set in platinum. The choice of sapphire was particularly meaningful, as it echoed the engagement ring worn by Prince Edward's mother, Princess Marina, Duchess of Kent. This subtle connection to her future mother-in-law was the first thread linking Katharine to the rich jewelry heritage she would inherit. The wedding took place on June 8, 1961, and it immediately revealed something important about Katharine's character. Rather than choosing Westminster Abbey or St. Paul's Cathedral in London, as was customary for royal weddings, she insisted on marrying in her hometown of York. The ceremony was held at York Minster, marking the first royal wedding at that historic cathedral in over 600 years. It was a quiet but significant statement about staying connected to her roots, even as she stepped into a very public royal role. Her wedding gown was created by Irish designer John Kavanagh and was a masterpiece of early 1960s design. Made from nearly 200 yards of silk gauze, the dress featured a high collar, a fitted waist, and a full skirt that extended into a 15-foot train. She carried a bouquet of white York roses, another tribute to her Yorkshire heritage. To complete the bridal ensemble, she wore a delicate diamond tiara borrowed from her mother-in-law's collection. This particular tiara had originally belonged to Queen Mary and was known as a bandeau style, a single, elegant line of diamonds that sat low across the forehead. It perfectly suited a young bride, balancing formality with understated grace. This bandeau tiara would become one of the most frequently worn pieces in Katharine's early years as Duchess of Kent. She wore it to numerous significant events, including the Ugandan independence celebrations in 1962, the coronation of the King of Tonga in 1968, and a gala at the Palace of Versailles in 1972. However, in the mid-1970s, the tiara underwent a dramatic transformation. The original diamond scrollwork was removed, and the base was fitted with a new fringe of diamond spikes, the tallest of which were topped with round pearls. This redesigned piece became known as the Kent Pearl and Diamond Fringe Tiara, and it would serve as her primary tiara for the next several decades. Beyond her wedding jewels, Katharine inherited an extraordinary collection from Princess Marina, who had passed away in 1968. Among these treasures was the Cambridge sapphire parure, one of the most historically significant jewelry sets in the royal family. The parure originally belonged to Princess Augusta, Duchess of Cambridge, in the 19th century. It then passed to Queen Mary, who redesigned and expanded the set according to her own refined taste. Queen Mary eventually gave the sapphires to her daughter-in-law, Princess Marina, who wore them to some of the most important royal events of the mid-20th century. The Cambridge sapphires consisted of a tiara, necklace, bracelets, and several brooches, all featuring deep blue sapphires set among diamonds. For years, Katharine had access to this magnificent suite and wore various pieces on formal occasions. However, by the 1980s, financial pressures led to a difficult decision. A substantial portion of the parure, including the original grand tiara, was quietly sold. The reasons for the sale were practical rather than frivolous. Maintaining historic estates and fulfilling royal duties required significant resources that were not always readily available. From what remained of the sapphire necklace, a smaller piece was created, sometimes referred to as the button tiara. This more modest circlet used sapphire and diamond clusters from the original necklace, set on a velvet band. By the mid-1990s, further financial difficulties led to the sale of additional pieces from the Cambridge collection. These items have since been identified in private collections, but are not available for purchase. The small button tiara's current whereabouts remain unknown. Another remarkable piece from Princess Marina's collection was a pair of diamond girandole earrings. These historic earrings dated back to around 1780 and were believed to have come from the collection of Marina's grandmother, Grand Duchess Vladimir of Russia. The earrings featured cascading old mine-cut diamonds set in silver and gold, designed to catch and reflect candlelight beautifully. Princess Marina wore them to two of the most important events of the 20th century: the coronation of King George VI in 1937 and the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. Katharine wore these earrings on numerous occasions throughout the 1970s and 1980s. There is even an anecdote suggesting that she sometimes had to search on hands and knees for diamonds that had fallen out of the settings, as the antique construction made them prone to losing stones. Like the sapphires, these earrings were eventually sold. They appeared at a Christie's auction in 2000, though by that time 4 of the larger diamonds in each earring had been replaced with imitations. In a rather unexpected turn, the earrings were later loaned to Kim Kardashian for a public appearance, bringing a piece that had witnessed 2 coronations into the world of contemporary celebrity culture. Not every inherited piece met such a dramatic fate. One particularly versatile item was a brooch featuring a black pearl at its center, surrounded by diamonds. After it came into the Kent collection, Katharine adapted it to serve as the clasp for a pearl choker, giving the formal brooch a more modern and wearable purpose. Later photographs show the same diamond setting used with a white pearl instead, demonstrating its flexibility. Following the sale of the Cambridge sapphires in the 1980s, the pearl and diamond fringe tiara became Katharine's primary diadem for state occasions. She wore it consistently throughout the 1980s and 1990s for events such as state openings of Parliament and official banquets, including the Queen's Silver Jubilee celebrations in 1977 and various state visits. The tiara also played a special role in 1992 when Katharine's daughter, Lady Helen Windsor, chose to wear it for her wedding to Timothy Taylor at St. George's Chapel, Windsor. Seeing the same tiara pass from mother to daughter created a meaningful moment of continuity within the family. To complement the pearl and diamond fringe tiara, Katharine often wore a matching parure that likely came from the royal jeweler's Gerard in the 1980s. This suite consisted of a substantial necklace featuring alternating round pearls and diamond elements, with a detachable diamond and pearl pendant. The matching earrings each contained a central pearl with 3 pearl drops. Together with the tiara, this created a cohesive and elegant look that became her signature style for the highest profile events throughout the decade. She wore the complete ensemble to the Spanish state banquet at Windsor Castle in 1986, the state opening of Parliament in 1987, and state visits from Poland in 1991 and Brunei in 1992. This diamond and pearl suite also appeared at Lady Helen's wedding in 1992, where the bride wore not only her mother's tiara, but the entire matching set. The wedding dress designer, Katharine Worsley, even incorporated design elements from the jewelry into the embroidery of the gown itself, creating a harmonious visual connection between dress and jewels. After the mid-1990s, however, the suite was never seen in public again. While there has been no official confirmation, it is widely believed to have been sold during another period of financial difficulty. While grand tiaras and historic parures defined much of Catherine's public image for decades, there were smaller, more personal pieces that told a quieter story. One such treasure was a diamond flower brooch, likely given to her as a wedding gift in 1961. The brooch featured a modern floral design with a lustrous pearl at its center, surrounded by diamonds. What made this piece particularly special was its versatility. Throughout her years of royal duties, Katharine wore it in multiple ways, as a simple brooch pinned to her clothing, or cleverly adapted as the clasp for a pearl choker. She also owned a pair of coordinating pearl and diamond earrings that completed the set. Unlike so many other pieces from her collection, this diamond flower suite remained with the Duchess long after she retired from public life. It made a notable appearance in 2011 at the pre-wedding dinner for Prince William and Catherine Middleton, and was photographed again in 2016 when she hosted a reception for young musicians at Buckingham Palace. The fact that she continued to wear this particular piece, even after stepping away from formal royal duties, suggests it held deep personal meaning for her. It represented a connection to the very beginning of her life as a duchess, a tangible link to the young woman she had been more than 50 years earlier. Another piece from Princess Marina's collection that Katharine wore regularly was a pair of classic pearl earrings. These had been a wedding gift to Marina in 1934 and featured large, beautiful round pearls set within diamond frames. Princess Marina wore them frequently throughout her life, and they became part of Katharine's regular jewelry rotation during the 1970s and 1980s. However, unlike other pieces that eventually appeared at auction houses, these earrings simply disappeared from public view. Their fate remains unknown, leaving a small mystery in the story of the Kent jewelry collection. Beyond the complete suites and matching sets, Katharine's collection included several individual brooches with extraordinary historical significance. One of the most remarkable was a gold brooch that had once belonged to Queen Victoria herself. The piece featured an unusual carved gold design topped with a silver or enameled cross, a large central pearl, and a pearl drop. The exact history of how it came into the family is unclear, but Queen Victoria clearly treasured it. She was photographed wearing the brooch at important family christenings, including that of her granddaughter, the future Crown Princess Margareta of Sweden in 1882, and her great-grandson, the future Earl Mountbatten of Burma in 1900. After Queen Victoria's death in 1901, the brooch is believed to have been inherited by her daughter, Princess Louise, Duchess of Argyll. When Princess Louise died, many of her jewels passed to Princess Marina. Katharine began wearing this Victorian heirloom in the 1970s, bringing it back into public view after many decades. While she did not wear it frequently, she chose it for specific meaningful occasions, such as the funeral of Cardinal Basil Hume in 1999. Its most recent public appearance was in 2012, when she wore it to the Queen's Diamond Jubilee service. The fact that a brooch worn by Queen Victoria in the Victorian era reappeared to celebrate the 60-year reign of Victoria's great-great-granddaughter created a powerful sense of historical continuity. Another brooch with an equally dramatic backstory featured a magnificent cabochon sapphire surrounded by 4 square diamonds. This piece came from the collection of Dowager Empress Maria Fyodorovna of Russia and was one of the few jewels she managed to escape with after the Russian Revolution. Following the Empress's death in 1928, her daughters, Grand Duchesses Xenia and Olga, sold several pieces from their mother's collection to Queen Mary, who had a well-known passion for acquiring historic jewels. Queen Mary paid £2,850 for the sapphire brooch, a considerable sum at the time. Shortly before her own death in 1953, Queen Mary gave the brooch to Princess Marina, who was actually a great-niece of the Dowager Empress. In this way, the jewel returned to the extended family from which it had originated. Katharine wore the Russian sapphire brooch on several daytime occasions during the 1970s and 1980s, sometimes pinning it to her hat. Its last documented public appearance was in 1984 at the unveiling of a statue honoring Earl Mountbatten of Burma in London. After that, like several other pieces in the collection, it vanished from the public record, and its current location remains unknown. While those two brooches were reserved for special occasions, there was one that became absolutely essential to Katharine's formal wardrobe. Princess Marina's Art Deco diamond brooch was another wedding gift from Queen Mary in 1934, described at the time as an oblong diamond brooch with a square cluster center and link ends. Its clean geometric lines perfectly captured the Art Deco aesthetic of the era. Princess Marina wore it on her wedding day and frequently used it to secure the sashes of her royal orders at formal events. For Katharine, this Art Deco brooch became the constant companion to her pearl and diamond fringed tiara. If you examine photographs of the Duchess at state banquets and state openings of Parliament from the late 1970s through the early 1990s, this brooch appears again and again. From the Queen's Silver Jubilee celebrations to state visits from Spain, Brunei, and Malaysia, the brooch was always there. Its brilliant architectural design provided the perfect anchor for formal gowns and complemented the tiara beautifully. Together, these pieces created the signature look that defined Katharine's appearance at the grandest royal occasions. Yet while these jewels connected the Duchess to royal history and protocol, the image that most people remember has nothing to do with tiaras or brooches at all. For many years, Katharine was a familiar presence at the Wimbledon Tennis Championships, where she presented trophies to the winners with her characteristic grace and warmth. Then in 1993, something unexpected happened that would define her public image in a completely different way. Czech player Jana Novotná had just lost a devastating women's final to Steffi Graf, collapsing in tears on the court after coming so close to victory. As the Duchess stepped forward to present the runner-up plate, she did something that royal protocol would never have suggested. She leaned in close, put a comforting arm around the distraught young athlete, and offered her shoulder as Novotná wept openly. When asked about it later, Katharine's response was simple and direct. "It's the natural thing, isn't it? That's what you do when people are crying." In that single, unscripted moment, she broke through decades of formal royal distance and showed the world who she really was. Not a duchess adorned with historic jewels, but a compassionate human being responding to another person's pain with genuine kindness. The image of that embrace was broadcast around the world and became the defining moment of her public life. It revealed something fundamental about her character that no amount of diamonds or pearls could ever express. 9 years later, in 2002, the Duchess made another decision that surprised nearly everyone. After 4 decades of royal duties, state banquets, and official engagements, she stepped away from it all entirely. She gave up her royal title in most contexts and became simply Mrs. Kent. Then she did something even more unexpected. She became a primary school music teacher in Hull, working with 8-year-old children who were just beginning to discover the joy of making music. The contrast could hardly have been more dramatic. The woman who had worn Queen Victoria's brooches and tiaras from Queen Mary's collection now worked in the staff room of Wansbeck Primary School, where colleagues knew her simply as Kath. To her students, she was Mrs. Kent. No special treatment, no formality. Just a teacher who believed passionately that every child deserved the chance to experience music. She worked particularly with children who had learning difficulties, bringing patience and encouragement to students who might otherwise have been overlooked. In interviews about her teaching work, she spoke with genuine enthusiasm about her students. "Primary school children are like little sponges," she observed. "They are very eager to learn, so teaching them is very satisfying. She wasn't teaching them because she needed something to do in retirement. She was teaching because she believed deeply and sincerely that music had the power to transform lives. Her own musical tastes were refreshingly eclectic for someone of her generation and background. While she taught classical pieces, she admitted to enjoying the rapper Eminem and even expressed appreciation for beatboxing. She was sharing not just technical skills, but the profound confidence and joy that music can bring to a young person's life. Her commitment to music education extended beyond the classroom. In 2004, she co-founded a charity called Future Talent, dedicated to helping gifted young musicians from low-income backgrounds develop their abilities. The organization provided support and opportunities to talented children who might otherwise never have the chance to pursue their musical dreams. In doing this, she was offering to other children the same opportunities that had enriched her own life back at Hovingham Hall all those decades ago. When Katharine, Duchess of Kent, passed away peacefully in September 2025 at the age of 92, she was surrounded by her family. The obituaries and tributes that followed her death reflected on a life that had been truly extraordinary in its contrasts. Here was a woman who had worn some of the most historically significant jewels in the royal family's collection, pieces that connected her to Queen Victoria, Russian empresses, and the grandest moments of 20th century royal history. Yet she chose to spend the final chapters of her life in a primary school classroom, teaching children their scales and encouraging them to believe in themselves. The story of her jewelry collection, with all its magnificence and mystery, is ultimately just one part of a much larger narrative. The tiaras and brooches, the sales and disappearances, the inherited treasures and personal favorites, all of these things mattered, but perhaps not in the way we might expect. They represented a role she played, a public identity she inhabited for 40 years. But when given the choice, she set aside that glittering world and chose something entirely different. She chose music, children, and the quiet satisfaction of making a real difference in young lives, one student at a time. In the end, Katharine, Duchess of Kent, will be remembered not for the jewels she wore or even the jewels she lost, but for the moment she offered comfort to a crying athlete, and for the years she spent helping children discover their own voices through music. That legacy, built not from sapphires and diamonds, but from compassion and purpose, is the one that will endure.